it's live, pal.
Sorry.
We will ban you from the Summerfest.
Right here in the Silverdome.
Jeff Harvey.
And I have half the brain that you
do. Welcome to Wrestle Hunks Weekly. I'm Brady Price, and as always, I'm joined by the Will Ospreay to my Robbie Eagles, Nathan Marlowe.
How you going, mate?
Good, mate. Good, mate. We're alive. We're here, so everything's good.
Yeah, we're not dead. Driving buddies.
Just going up and down the roads like cowboys. So
yeah, just hitting the towns, just like the old days.
Are we going to talk about that show at any point? Did you want to start off or quickly?
I've got in my news. I think I'll just do it in the news.
We'll something to look forward to, the news, and we've also got some stuff to talk about from Raw and Smackdown, so plenty to talk about this week. And we're going to start off by talking about Fyter Fest, which is something we didn't really mention last week because there hadn't been a whole lot of build, but this past weekend was Fyter Fest, AEW's second ever show from was it CEO? Is that what the gaming thing's called?
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, it was in Daytona Beach, and by all reports, everyone was pretty happy with the show, and I think it was free for people in the States on BR Live, so not bad to get a free wrestling show. I just want to start. We'll talk about the main talking point coming out of it, which was during the match after the match between Cody and Darby Allin. There was an unprotected chair shot to the head from Shawn Spears to Cody, which opened him up. I think he needed like 12 staples or stitches in the back of his head. Well, first of all, thoughts on the Darby Allin Cody match. Like, did you see much of this?
Yeah, I watched it. It was pretty darn good. I have some good thoughts on it. I thought it was a great match. It was a great showing for Darby Allin, if I'm honest. Yeah. I can't say I've ever really heard of him, but he did some really fucked up shit. He did the throw to the outside, and there was the truss fall into the apron. That was fucked up. Yeah. Cody was absolutely like ragdolling him. Then they grabbed the body bag. There was a Canadian Destroyer in there. There was a weird tornado crossbody off the first rope, which was unique, and it was good. I thought with the chair shot, it was a blade job, very clear. Where he hit him was the cut was on the other side, which didn't really like he kind of hit him on the left hand side, and the cut's kind of more on the right.
I didn't really take much.
Like it's a blade job. Like it's a blade job. Like just be real. It was good. I thought it was cool. I mean, we don't need to see it, but I don't know. What are your thoughts? It's kind of weird to see this in 2019.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I think the Young Bucks came out after the show. They did a couple of press conferences and stuff for AEW, which I quite like. And the Bucks said that it was Cody's idea, and the chair was supposed to be gimmicked, but it didn't work or whatever. So, if it's, I understand that Cody would want to do this because people are talking. Obviously, people are talking about this, but I feel like people will talk about the show either way, regardless if they did this or not.
Yeah, true.
I don't think we need to see it at all. Like, I don't know. Cody didn't get his hands up or anything. Like, it just, I don't know. I think we're past this point where we need to see that sort of violence. Like we saw in the main event, there was a lot of violence that was safer than that, and it's not going to cause as serious damage as what this chair shot could have. So,
yeah.
They said that Cody doesn't have a concussion, which is good because that's not what we want. They've got a show in 2 weeks' time, Fight for the Fallen, so I'm sure Cody doesn't want to miss that. The match, I think, yeah, like you said, a 20-minute time limit draw, which was the first we've seen so far in AEW, which was really cool. And Darby Allin, someone that not a lot of people know, and he gets. I mean, it looked like Cody was going to win because he was about to get the pinfall with a couple of seconds left, but it keeps Darby Allin, gives him a good rub, and keeps Cody strong. So I thought they did a good job for the match. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be talking about the chair shot. I don't know. I don't think with the backlash that they've received, I doubt we see it again. But it has got people talking and more people sort of paying attention to what AEW are doing because obviously it's a different rated product at the moment than what WWE is.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, is there any other matches like we sort of I watched most of the show. You've seen highlights of the show. Was there anything that sort of caught your eye throughout the show that you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the three-way tag. That was amazing.
Yeah.
They had that to start off the pre-show, and I thought it was good. Really good showing of Private Party. He really showed that they're absolute studs. I will say the production kind of didn't look amazing here for the best friend Okada hug spot.
Yeah.
The camera wasn't good for that. I don't know why. Just get that shit fixed. I thought the shooting star press, I think it was Mark Queen, hit. That was pretty. I thought that was going to end the match. I just thought it was amazing, and it really shows what tag team wrestling can really be. And it was really good that the best friends picked up a win out of all three of them.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Like the Private Party are a young, up and coming tag team. SoCal Uncensored are sort of veterans, so you know they're going to be in the mix no matter what. So keeping best friends, sort of keeping them strong, and then the post match with the Dark Order. It's cool. Everything's sort of working well. I think the tag team scene is pretty strong at the moment in AEW, and I was going to say the same thing. I thought Private Party looked great in their showing some really innovative stuff that they did. So
yeah,
adds another element to their division. I thought Nyla Rose looked really good in her match.
She did. She really did.
Just looked like an absolute beast, which is what you'd want from the.
Sure, everything was a double team move onto them. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean the two Japanese girls were smaller, but it still looked impressive. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's a beast, and she could be one of the major players in the women's division on AEW.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I just want to talk about fucking very quickly because not worth my time. Leva Bates versus Ali.
Yeah,
that fucking sucked. I don't like Leva Bates.
I didn't watch. I watched the Best Friends tag match in the pre-show. I didn't watch anything else, but
I wouldn't blame you. It's just not doing for me this gimmick. I don't like Leva Bates as a wrestler. I just don't. I don't rate her. She has no charisma, no personality. It's like you've said before. She's nothing without the blue pants thing in NXT.
Yeah.
But I will say Ali in this match, she looked pretty good, and she had some pretty amazing forearm strikes towards the end. And I was pretty glad that Ali won, and it wasn't that the Librarians won.
Ali's got to stay strong. She's got a match with Brandy at Fight for the Fallen. So
that's very true.
Makes sense.
There was Nakazawa versus Bailey, like a hardcore comedy match, pretty much.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. The Baby Oil spot gets me every time now. Bailey drowned him in the pool, and the great commentary call, forget who said it actually. Power slam into the luxurious pool, and then we got a backdrop onto Lego, which I thought this is a great change up on the show. Like it really showed that they can have a bit of everything.
I think Michael Nakazawa is going to be a pretty key addition to the roster with some of the comedy stuff that he can do. So
it seems like he's their R-Truth.
Yeah, it does seem that way a little bit. That's very true.
Daniels and Seema.
Yeah, I mean that was a solid match by two vets, really, wasn't it?
A solid match. Seema moves really amazing for his age. I'll be real. Like he is very smooth and crisp, and he actually got the win, which I was very surprised about. Is he versing Omega?
Yeah, that would be the reason.
Yeah, that would be the reason. See, I heard in the commentary, but because it was chopped up, I thought it was Daniels. He's like, because it said he's facing Omega, and so I wasn't sure which one. Yep. The four-way was pretty good. The Fatal Four-Way.
That's right. Yep.
It was pretty good. The highlights there was nothing outstanding. I think MJF is the real star of the match. Like it really kind of showed in this match. Like Hangman is probably second to MJF. I'll be real. That's a main event feud I'm looking forward to though.
Yeah, that's very true. MJF is just getting better and better every time I see him.
There was a cool spot that Havoc and Hangman did dive to the outside, but then Jungle Boy did like a weird inside out flip. I don't know how to describe it. It was almost like I don't know, like Mustafa Ali's move. I don't fucking know. MJF played it smart and didn't go in the ring when he needed to be, and then Hangman hit the Deadeye for the win.
I love when MJF sets up for a dive to the outside, bounces off the ropes, and then just flips off the crowd. Everything he does is just brilliant.
It's good, and we fall for it every time.
Yeah, of course. But he's a salt of the earth guy, and he was the first one down there when Cody was hit with the chair. So
It's true.
obviously he's best friends with Cody.
Lucha Bros and Elite.
Yeah, the two main matches were the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks defeating Laredo Kid and Pentagon, Ray Phoenix, the Lucha Bros. Another good match. Like you put these 5 guys that we knew, and then Laredo Kid, who impressed in this one. They put them all in a match. So it's going to be good. So, did you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Laredo Kid's mask looks exactly like the old Sin Cara mask. Yeah. Gotta say that. I kind of thought that Laredo Kid would take the pin. TBH, because the Bucks and Omega versus the Lucha Bros. Laredo Kid, I don't know if he's actually with AEW or anything, so it is what it is. There was some huge dives to the outside. Phoenix did his fake, the fake to the outside where he comes back into the ring. Yeah. That was pretty cool. I think Kenny looked like a bit of a goober with his pink hair, but I get what they was doing. They explained on Being the Elite that his costume didn't arrive, so.
That was a bit unlucky. I saw his gear and it was like I think it was the gear he wore.
He seemed so stressed and upset.
Yeah, that's unlucky because you could tell how much this whole show meant to Kenny. So.
Oh yeah. If I'm rating his cosplay, it's nothing on their Ghostbusters one.
Yeah, that's very true.
There was a good spot with Pentagon and Omega, like a bit of a throwback to last year, All In. Did the Zero Miro Hero thing. I think the spots were a little bit clunky in the match, if I'm honest. Like, they took a little bit too much time for some spots. Like, they were standing around doing nothing. But I still think it was a very great match. And V-Trigger, Super Kick Party, Hadouken, One Winged Angel for the win.
Yeah, that's very true. This isn't, I don't think it was on the standard of Bucks, Lucha Bros from Double or Nothing, but
Nope.
Still very, very good.
That was a great match.
And in the main event, we saw a unsanctioned match. Something I thought, I don't know if you saw it in the highlights, but that they did is Justin Roberts said that the lights will go off and they'll come back on, and that's the end of the sanctioned portion, like the actual show, and then they're going to have an unsanctioned match afterwards. Which
that's cool.
I thought it was really lit. Like, it sort of just made it feel like, okay, well, this isn't, this is sort of no rules. No, like, we know we're going to get a real fight, which was the unsanctioned match between Jon Moxley and Joey Janela, which was insane. Some of the spots they did in it was really cool. And Moxley gets the win, obviously. Post-match, Kenny comes down and attacks Moxley, sort of leading to their match at All Out, but Moxley was left smiling on the ramp after getting beat up, which was just another great little touch. What did you think of the match?
Ooh, it was brutal. This really showed that they have every type of wrestling. Comedy wrestling, they had tag team wrestling, they had technical wrestling, they had flippy wrestling, and then they have this fucking extreme hardcore war, which is I don't think a lot of fans tuning into this would have kind of seen this kind of stuff. Like, I think like they're just used to like normal wrestling. And I thought it was cool. There was the Hurricane Rana onto the barbed wire chair. Then Joey hit him with it. A side Russian leg sweep through a table. Then there was Mox through another table. Mox was driven through the barbed wire. And then for some reason, Janela says, I'm going to do an elbow job from a ladder, which was pretty good. And then Joey went through a barbed wire table, suplex onto the tacks. And then Kenny Omega comes down, says V-Trigger, and hits him with the drumsticks and the guitar. Yeah. And then onto the trash can too.
I love Moxley taking Joey's shoes off and dropping him feet first into the tacks. Like,
yeah, amazing.
That looks so much more painful than his back. I don't know why. Like, just your heel digging into thumbtacks.
Yeah.
Like the most pain.
It does.
Yeah, these two are, they're sort of known for this style, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Like you said, I don't really get to watch matches like this very often, especially watching WWE for the majority. So to see barbed wire and thumbtacks is a nice change of pace. I don't think, obviously, I don't want to see it maybe not every show, but it's definitely not every match. So this is cool that it sort of just breaks things up and you get something different. And the Omega attack at the end sort of just made sense. We have to build towards that match at All Out. It's going to be a pretty huge match to see those two go at it.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see whether or not they go with like this type of match, like a no DQ match, a hardcore match, or Or they just have a straight up wrestling match because Kenny sort of showed that violent side.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you have any other thoughts on Fyter Fest?
No, it seemed like a very good show. Just there's a few names that obviously we didn't get to see from the last show. Kip Sabian and Sammy G. I mean, he's dead now. Would have been nice to see a bit more of the Luchasaurus, but that's okay. No, it was a good show. I think it was a good show, and it was free. Like, if you're American and saw this, like, you can't complain. Come on.
Yeah, a free show like this is pretty good value.
Like, I get if this was $50, like, for you again, and then, okay, obviously it's not as good, but it was free, so I think it was a very good show.
Yeah, they did a great job.
And also the Last Order or whatever, they appeared in the tag match. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they set up
The Goons did.
Oh right, yeah. I don't know what they would call them, but yeah,
the Goonies, the baddies.
Yeah, they were there ringside and sort of just continuing that feud with best friends. So something to look forward to there. Next up, there was some news that broke late last week. I think it was probably after we recorded, so we timed it well. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, but WWE has named Paul Heyman as an executive director of Monday Night Raw and Eric Bischoff as an executive director of SmackDown Live. These are newly created positions and reporting directly to WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon. So in their executive roles, Heyman and Bischoff will oversee the creative development of the flagship programming. They will ensure integration across all platforms and lines of business. The creation of these roles further establishes WWE's ability to continuously reinvent its global brand while providing two distinct creative processes for its flagship shows. This sort of set off wrestling Twitter, and everyone was sort of just buzzing about the fact that Heyman and Bischoff were back and in pretty prominent roles. Obviously, they're reporting directly to Vince, so they've got a lot of control. I don't know how much control they'll end up getting, but what are your thoughts on Heyman and Bischoff sort of being thrown back into WWE and taking over control?
It's unique. I don't know. It's weird because these two haven't really been in power anywhere for a very long time, obviously. So it's different. If Raw was anything to go by, it's already changed from being a pretty boring show to there's going to be something happening. I still think the fucking commercial break thing is so stupid. Hopefully they can change that. But Raw this week was a positive. So obviously, Eric Bischoff didn't do SmackDown this week. It's not going to be till after Extreme Rules. So that'll be something to look forward to, though. I think it's a positive. I mean, any kind of change just suggests that WWE wants to make things better, and I think that's good. They're not just complacent and going week to week.
Yeah, that's exactly how I thought of it. Is that they're making an effort, which shows that they want to improve. They could probably continue doing what they're doing. Like you're probably gonna get a consistent fan base, like kids and families and stuff like that. They're probably gonna keep watching, keep pouring money into the company, but at least they know that they can't just sit around and do the same old thing. It's going to be interesting to see. I think Heyman obviously has a great brain for the business. He was still working within WWE. Like I know we've seen stuff with him backstage helping out some other wrestlers other than Brock. But it'd be interesting to see how Bischoff sort of attacks this, and I'm very interested to see how SmackDown changes going forward because I don't know whether or not Bischoff has sort of kept in touch with wrestling or not. Like it's very, very interesting. How much of an impact do you think this will have on the overall product?
I think it's gonna. I reckon it'll have a positive change. I think they're realizing things weren't really working the way they are. So I don't think they would have brought these two in if they didn't think things were going a bit wrong.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. And like you said, we'll get into the Raw and SmackDown recap now. Raw was different and better, I think, this week. Started off the show with no promo, which was nice. Was Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman in a Falls Count Anywhere match, I believe. And it ended in a no contest with both men crashing through the LED wall at the top of the stage. There was popping off and explosions. It took up a lot of the start of the show. Like they had the medical team come out and get both the men on stretchers and take them to the hospital, and
so they can get to the ad break.
Yeah, exactly. So they had Michael Cole and the commentary team were sort of giving us updates throughout the show. But an interesting start to the show. Nat, what were your thoughts on this?
It was different. It was a very extreme kind of feel. This part really did feel like a Paul Heyman kind of deal. It was pretty cool. They then had, you don't have it there, but then they had the Viking Radiance and New Day come out. They had the LED wall not working, which is cool. But I think I feel like they should have had that for the whole night, because then they just fixed it. Yeah, I was like, oh, whatever. But I think that was cool. Like it's so different as like Rhino going through the Smackdown set. That's cool. Part of me wants them to keep it like this next week. It'd be funny.
Yeah, well, there's a report that WWE were in the process of making a different stage for Raw.
Please.
So someone speculated that it might be the reason why they've done that, and to maybe, I don't know whether they bring it in next week. I would like it to stay, if it's not next week, keep this stage, but keep it broken at least until they have the new stage.
Have them break something next week.
Yeah, just keep tearing it down.
And then just eventually it becomes a brick wall, and then we have ECW again.
Lit. That sounds lit. But like you said, it was a fun start to Raw. This wasn't something I don't think anyone was really looking forward to. Lashley and Strowman in a Falls Count Anywhere match. But for me, the pyro, like the fact that they had pyro back was...
They used a lot of it. Like it was a bit over the top as well, and they used heaps of it.
Yeah, they went for it. So that's a good sign. I think that should be a thing that they bring back at least. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal. It just makes a little bit of an impact when you see it, when you're at the show, and I don't know.
Yeah, maybe just don't overuse it.
Yeah, exactly. So do you have any other thoughts on that before we move on?
No, but it was a really good angle, and how we were talking about last week how this feud was the shit.
Yeah.
And now they do one good piece of writing, and look what happened. We're all like, wow, we're going to be looking forward to the next Lashley Strowman match.
Something I don't have here just quickly is on SmackDown they showed Bobby Lashley had a
promo, yeah.
Put a promo up. And, what did he basically said, like, he's not going to send Strowman to the hospital next time. He's going to send him to the morgue, which was nice. Like, it's getting a little edgier around here. So
just gonna full on kill him.
Two big dudes trying to kill each other is a lot more interesting than them playing tug of war, if I'm being honest. So
that was the building block of the feud.
So we'll see where it goes. They've actually improved this storyline somewhat, which was nice.
I'm just waiting for the pose down.
Next up, the Street Profits made an appearance on Monday Night Raw, which was very interesting. And they also crashed Paul Heyman's interview segment later on in the show. So we got to see a little taste of the Street Profits with their tag titles from NXT. So what did you make of seeing the Street Profits on Raw?
I didn't like their promo. It seemed very shittily written. It seemed like a Vince promo, to be honest. It was alright. I guess I guess it's pretty cool, like they're on Raw, but like it's another set of tag team champions that you're bringing up, and you're just gonna waste the titles. Like, what have the Viking Raiders really done? Like, stop bringing people up for the sake of it.
There's been no confirmation of whether or not the Street Profits are up.
I know, but like they're still appearing on the main show. It's like you're just insinuating like they're gonna leave NXT, and like you don't do anything with your tag team division anyway.
That would be the problem, is that there's tag teams that don't get used that should be. The Street Profits are amazing, and especially recently they've come into like their own, into a zone here where they're tearing it up on NXT. They're very entertaining, naturally charismatic, so I think they'll succeed on the main roster. I don't think that's going to be a question. I'd like, if this is maybe, I don't know whether Heyman's in charge of this, like if they're bringing up NXT guys just for like just a test to sort of bring them up for a couple of weeks and then sort of let them go back to NXT, I'd be okay with that. Like, I would be sort of just testing the water, so to speak. Like, if you have, I don't know, Velveteen up for a couple of weeks, sort of just doing his own thing on Raw, and then just have him go back just to see.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Bit of a feeler.
Yeah, that would be good. So you can get an idea of whether or not the main roster will take to them. Because they still had their titles, so, I mean, I would assume they stay on NXT, but we'll see how it goes. The Undertaker cut a promo on Shane and Drew, which was very Undertaker-esque. Same sort of.
I'm gonna take your souls.
100% he said that. But something that happened, I think they were in the ring and it sort of went black or whatever, and then like they had the firework, like the lightning sort of thing to the ring post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's another sign of them using pyro again, which was nice. So that was the thing that excited me about this. The Undertaker promo, very, very stock standard for him. So nothing too special. Did you have any thoughts on Taker sort of making another surprise appearance?
Not really. Like I'm not really like fussed with this Undertaker stuff.
Yeah.
I did see the Undertaker promo, and he did say he's gonna take Shane and Drew's souls, and that's why he's back. So that to do with that what you want in the reality era. How am I supposed to believe that?
The Reaper of Souls.
The Reaper of Souls. I don't know. Undertaker should not be back. Bray Wyatt is the new Undertaker.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm not looking forward to the hot tag. There was also a stipulation announced for that.
Yeah, there was.
Just no holds barred, but who cares?
That's just so Undertaker can do more things.
There was a good Lance Storm tweet. Did you see it?
No, I don't think so.
It was like, what holds are barred in a normal match? And everyone's like, oh, choking and close fists.
Oh, that's funny. Something that was a bit out of left field was the segment with Becky and Seth. They were getting interviewed backstage, which led to Mike and Maria showing up.
To say it right, the debuting on Raw, Mike and Maria.
It would be Mike's first time on Raw.
Mike's debut on Raw.
Wow. Okay, well, this is a pretty big debut then.
Yeah.
This sort of led to a match between the two teams. Maria got tagged in. Seth sort of forced Mike to tag Maria, which brought in Becky. Maria avoided fighting her by grabbing Mike and saying that she's pregnant. Mike I think he sort of said, "How are you pregnant?" And then Maria said that he's not man enough to get her pregnant. After the match, she says that the only man here is Becky, and next time she'll ask Becky to impregnate her, which was
kind of hot.
which was interesting. What were your thoughts on this whole segment? Mike getting a chance on Raw.
Oh, it was really nice of them to let Vince Russo write a segment. Holy fuck, it was a weird, really awkward segment. It's weird. She said Mike wasn't man enough to get her pregnant. It's like, so you're insinuating someone else did, and then you're saying no one's good enough to impregnate her but Becky, or what? Yeah. And this feud isn't going to go anywhere. Because next week we're going to get Andrade and Zelina versus them. So it's not like this feud's going anywhere. Why bring this up? Is this a way to write her off TV?
Mate, it could be, but I also...
But she's not on TV. She's on 205 Live.
Yeah, but I like this. I thought it gives us something, at least, with Mike.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
At this point, I care about Mike Kanellis just getting a chance. So, I don't know. This is a tweet I have screenshotted from Brian Alvarez, which I don't agree with at all. He's tweeted that Mike Kanellis' segment was the biggest one-night burial of a person I've seen in WWE in years, decades maybe in my whole life. I hate that tweet. He sounds so stupid. Honestly, what was he doing before this? Did anyone?
Nothing. No, 205. Yeah.
And now apparently he's been buried. I don't.
Also, he didn't. Being in this match, he didn't look 205.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he weighed 205. He looked very comparable to Seth. I'll be real.
Exactly. So for me,
I don't know what they're doing with him. Yeah.
I think it's at least we get to see. Maybe this is something we can see where his character gets developed. This might turn him psychotic. The fact that his wife said this, I don't know. It could be something. I just think we need to give it a chance.
Yeah.
I know people sort of think this was sort of nuts that they did this, but it's something different. It's got people talking again. So I don't know. I just want to see Mike, wrestle and have good matches, and people sort of just shit on him, but you haven't seen what he can do, so I would like to see him get a chance. Did you have any other thoughts on this one?
Nah, not really. It was kind of weird, but like you said, it gets something done for Mike. Something
that is always a hit on Raw and SmackDown is the 24/7 title. Drake Maverick brought his wife. It's a Monday night for their honeymoon. And he said, "No, this isn't. I didn't bring you to Raw for my honeymoon. For a honeymoon, I brought you here to meet Dana Brooke," which was nice. So that was sort of just throughout the show. I think they were ringside for a match, and then R-Truth sort of was taunting Drake that he couldn't pin him because he was with his wife. And at the end of the show, Truth sort of bumped into Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick won the title back, and now he's on his honeymoon with his wife with the title. What are your thoughts on all this?
It was good. It was really funny. It has a really nice story behind it. It's like, would you be surprised if they don't write this? Like, this is Drake Maverick and R-Truth writing it. I wouldn't fucking be, because it doesn't seem like they could write something as good as this.
Yeah, we don't give WWE. We wouldn't give them credit for something like this.
I honestly don't think they could pull something off like this off. His wife's reaction are amazing. Like, she's a good worker. Yeah. I will say. She gives him a good wife side eye. It was perfect. True laying on the barricade, waiting for a pin, didn't get it. Then at the end of the show, Drake realizes that he can have his cake and eat it too. Exactly. So now he's on his honeymoon in Orlando.
Yeah, this is just really good stuff. Something I saw someone say on Twitter, I think, is that this could cause like his wife to get over as well. Like, this is the effect of this title, is that
that's very true.
These storylines that are coming out of it, like, people might get over that they don't mean to, and she has she's obviously worked before. She was in the Mae Young Classics, like, so I don't know, it's a possibility. She could get a really decent run out of this. So it's true. I'm all for it. This title is doing. I mean, how many weeks ago did we come out here and say that people are just bashing this title, and then now, look where it's at. It's probably the thing people most look forward to on Raw and SmackDown. So
yeah, exactly,
doing a great job. The main event of Raw, Ricochet retained his US title against AJ Styles. Post-match, AJ turns on Ricochet, reforming a heel version of the club with Gallows and Anderson. This is kind of nice. What did you think of this?
Yeah, it's amazing. We're getting the club again, and it's maybe they'll use him right this time. One can hope. I'm still sticking by that. I think Ricochet is going to join the club. I'm still like, I hope everyone remembers that, because I feel like this is where the story's going.
I'd be intrigued.
I feel like they're gonna, because I don't see them turning Finn heel. I really don't. Like, they're just not doing anything with him. Like,
I think they like having Finn separate from the club.
Yeah, I think he's a kind of a different person. But I'm hoping that they have Ricochet in the club. Like, I hope they make this a proper faction. I miss factions, and NXT does give me my fix of factions.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'd love to see on the main roster. Like, if you have proper factions on the main roster, it gives like lower end people a spot in a stable.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, when you have stables fighting, it's like you can have the lower guys take losses and stuff.
I think that's why people like the Miz Taraj so much when they were with the Miz, is that
100%.
Those two guys are super talented, and they got a chance to be.
They advance the stories, and they get to be in big storylines.
Yeah.
So I hope this leads to something proper.
I mean, you can see that happening. Ricochet teaming with, I don't know, like another tag team or a couple other baby faces on the roster, and eventually turning. I like either way. Ricochet's a great baby face, so
it's true.
And I feel like they're probably going to get AJ versus Ricochet again, it's not going to. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
They might get more time. I feel like they haven't got enough time on Raw, which is fine. Like, we're sort of just getting a taste of these two, but if we get like a pay-per-view match between these two, it's going to tear it down. So, and like you said, this is good for Gallows and Anderson. This is, they get a chance to shine, and they've been in the main event of Raw the last couple of weeks, so that's a good thing, I think. On SmackDown, not a lot happened. Kofi Kingston flipped Samoa Joe the Bird, and then laid him out with the Trouble in Paradise after the two sort of exchanged words during the promo. What'd you think of this?
It was weird. Can I say weird? I mean, it wasn't like, it was a good segment, but the flipping the bird was kind of weird. It felt really forced. I don't know. Kofi doesn't strike me as someone who'd do that.
I feel like they're trying to give him something. Like, everyone loves Kofi, but him as champion, like we've said before, is like him chasing might be the better option. But I don't know. Everyone sort of popped and started cheering Kofi again, which is nice. But
It's kind of weird to see like someone flipping the bird.
yeah, it's not
WTV.
not something you see very often. I think they blacked out the screen in some countries.
Yeah, in the UK.
So that was, that's interesting.
It's controversial. Ooh. I'll be honest. I'm really looking forward to Kofi Samoa Joe match. I will say
it's gonna be a lot of fun. Something I forgot to mention about the Braun and Bobby thing is that Corey Graves said "holy shit" on live TV, but they didn't cut it out. Like aren't they on like a 10-15 second delay or something? Like they can cut that out. So
there you go, everyone. Brody Price just figured it out.
I'm just
for everyone. Stop saying, "Oh, it's not a work." He did it for real. Clearly, he did it because yes, they're on a delay.
Yeah, I feel like him saying that, the flipping the bird, like maybe they're trying to get a little edgier with stuff that they do, sort of push the boundaries. But I don't know. It's not. Flipping the bird for me isn't that controversial, but
for being a PG show, it is very controversial. It is very controversial to do that.
That is true. I think someone said "son of a bitch" or something. I don't know.
Yes, someone did.
Yeah, I probably should have noted that down, but I forgot. So yeah, I agree with you. This match going to be a lot of fun, and that's only, I think next week is our last the go home shows. So
yeah, I think so.
Extreme Rules, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Something else that's going to happen in Extreme Rules is Aleister Black is waiting. And he sort of said in his promo this week that whoever knocked on the door, whoever wants to fight with Aleister Black, he'll be waiting in Extreme Rules. So
he went nick knocking, bro. Ding dong ditch, bro.
He was so upset that someone nick knocked him and just fucking took off.
You kids, you're leaving a flaming bag of poop.
So do you have any sort of guesses at who it might be that accepts Aleister Black's challenge at Extreme Rules?
Well, I saw the initial reports. It was going to be Cesaro. Which is kind of weird, but I'd be there for it. Personally, I'm not gonna lie. I want it to be Buddy Murphy. He's just being talky on Twitter how he wants a match. They still haven't used him on SmackDown yet. Yeah. He made a promo in the commercial break. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot recently.
He looks cool and he's in his shirt and he said he wants a match and give him a match.
I love Aleister Black. I love Bray Wyatt, and I've seen a lot of people say that they hope it's Bray. I hope it's not, because I think Bray should.
No. It should not be them two. It should not be them two. And plus, 5-5 house, it's a Raw thing. Keep him against the Raw guy.
Yeah, I would rather.
Even though Cesaro is a Raw guy, but
yeah, I would rather see Bray go after the title straight away after Seth.
Please, that's what we need after a shit main event. We're gonna get Extreme Rules.
I don't think. Like, sometimes I get that they might want to wait and see how things go before they pull the trigger on someone as like a world champion or whatever. But you fucking didn't with Jinder Mahal. Like, if ever there's a time, like
everyone knows that, like everyone is hyped for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
like just do it.
So they need to pull the trigger on that, and they need to give him something huge to start. So I love Aleister Black, but this needs to be. a Cesaro, someone. I think Buddy Murphy's a good call as well. Someone like that. I've seen Randy Orton suggested.
But when things are a good call, it's just not going to happen. Let's be real.
That's true.
They're not gonna go with that.
Fuck, we're gonna get bloody.
We'll probably get Randy.
I'm okay with.
I won't be mad, but I don't want Randy.
If Black wins the feud, then I'm happy with that. I don't want Randy squashing Aleister Black. He's too good. So that's going to be something to look forward to towards Extreme Rules. I don't know how we make predictions for that, but we'll figure that out next week. And in the main event, Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, they teamed together against Heavy Machinery. The winner was added to the SmackDown Tag Team title match at Extreme Rules in a triple threat against Bryan and Rowan and New Day. Heavy Machinery ended up getting the win, and then after the match, Kevin Owens gave Dolph Ziggler a stunner. What were your thoughts on this?
This is weird. Why is Owens is like flip flopping? It's really weird between face and heel. It's weird. It's hard to get behind him. It's kind of like Big Show-esque. Not gonna lie, at the moment, too many turns at the moment. It's not really feeling like it's meaning anything. But I will say, Owens' promo on Ziggler was fucking really good.
Oh, dude, I think I retweeted that out. Just such good stuff. Like him just saying, you're not gonna. It was your time 8 years ago, but now it's not. Kevin Owens is just one of the best on the mic, so that's good stuff.
If I was in a hot dog eating contest, I'd win. That's more than you can say about you wrestling.
What we thought is this like we sort of speculated that it was the end of Dolph's sort of little run here on WWE and going back to what he was doing last week, but he's back again. What were your thoughts on Dolph sort of teaming with in that respect?
I mean, it was good. It was like it wasn't going after the WWE Championship. It was like going after the tag belts, so it's cool. Does this set up like a Kevin Owens Ziggler feud? I don't want to see that. Like we've seen it before. Like I don't really care for it. I don't know what Ziggler needs to do, but he needs to go away. He needs to become Bray Wyatt's assistant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to reinvent Dolph. I think how they've sort of handled. I think he sort of maybe overstayed his welcome a little bit against Kofi, but just to come in for a match or two, for a feud, just to hold over, I don't mind that. Especially if we haven't seen him, because
he's a modern day X-Pac.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Everyone just wants him to go away.
But yeah, I mean, I always like his in-ring stuff. He's very good in the ring, so
oh yeah, he is.
I can't really fault him for that. And sometimes he can get on the mic and tear it up as well. So we'll see how it goes. Any thoughts on Heavy Machinery getting in the match, or is that just sort of doesn't?
No, I just kind of expected it. It was just a bit of a holdover on SmackDown, and elevate the story between New Day and Daniel Bryan and that as well.
Yeah. So obviously, hopefully, Otis gets the win because he's the man.
Gets the caterpillar.
So it doesn't.
I did notice the trash compactor finisher. Actually noticed it for once.
Yes.
It was good. It was pretty good.
It is, yeah. So that's their. Yeah, I don't know. It's a nice little finisher, I suppose.
Yeah, it is.
That does it for the SmackDown and Raw recaps. So we'll get into Nat's news roundup.
Bang bang. I'm going to start off with. Did you hear about Charles Robinson?
No, I don't think so.
He had $51,000 worth of horror movie memorabilia stolen from his storage locker back in May.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it contained about 2/3 of his collection, and he was shocked when he opened the door of the storage unit and noticed the place was a mess and all his stuff was missing. And he said it felt like a nightmare, and he's been checking eBay for some of the items, and he spotted one of the statues on it, and he offered the seller $1,000. The seller ended the auction after hearing the news, and then so Robinson's been going back and forth with police. So that sucks for him. That's a lot of money lost.
That is terrible, yeah.
Some pretty cool news. For the first time ever, an Evolve show is set to stream on the WWE Network. And it was announced via The Wrap today that Evolve's 10th anniversary show will air live on the WWE Network on July 13th, which is Saturday, but so that'd be on a Sunday for us.
Fight for the Fallen.
There you go. Nice.
Which is,
I mean, I'll probably go. I probably will watch this because it cost me $10.
Wait. Oh, the network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see what Kenny tweeted about this? I think.
No, not really.
I can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure, like, it was sort of he deleted it. But it was speculated that he tweeted like, I think it was like that they could take their blood money or whatever. But
oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that one. Yeah. So I don't know what his problem was, but this Evolve show has been booked for a while, I believe. So I'm not too sure what Kenny.
Yeah. If lining your pockets with blood money is okay, then what's wrong with trying to undermine a charity show for victims of gun violence? I hear that healthy competition is supposed to be a good thing, and yet I can't help but feel like I'm going to be sick.
Which didn't make any sense. Like, WWE is not trying to undermine them. I think this is an Evolve show. Like, this isn't even a WWE show. They just.
I mean, I can see where it's coming from. Like, the timing of them streaming an Evolve show is a bit weird, but I know they have said at one point that they wanted to do a stream of an Evolve show. I know they've said that before. And I don't see what's wrong with it. Like, this is it's a good card too. Like, I don't see anything wrong with it. And I'll be honest, like, compete with them then. If you, I know your show is like for a charity cause, but like, if I'm choosing WWE's product just for the fact that it's going to cost me $10.
Yeah. Well,
like, no offense, but like that's what I'm going to pay for.
Yeah, I feel like and Fight for the Fallen is going to be a great show. So I don't know what it's
Yeah, people. If your show's going to be good enough, people will tune in.
Exactly. So,
Just personally, I think I'm going to tune into the Evolve show.
Kenny, I'm pretty sure he deleted that tweet. So
yeah, he did. He did.
Back on it, but yeah, I sort of just didn't agree with that tweet. I love Kenny, but yeah, it is what it is.
No, personally, I'm going to watch the Evolve show because I'm very interested to see what it's going to look like. It's going to be a full indie experience, and I think this is going to be such a different experience for the fans that don't really get outside the WWE product, and it'll feel a bit more like NXT-ish, but that's pretty cool. The show is taking place at the 2,300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it's obviously the celebration of 10 years of Evolve / Dragon Gate USA. On the same night, he was revealed as the newest member of Villain Enterprises. Flip Gordon has suffered an elbow injury at Ring of Honor's Best in the World pay-per-view, and Dave Meltzer reports that Flip Gordon suffered a dislocated elbow, and Brian Alvarez notes that the elbow was popped back in place, and Gordon should be okay for the foreseeable future. Gordon was hurt when he hit a 450 splash, so that's hopefully it's not bad because Flip gets injured all the time.
Yeah, it's terrible timing, but hopefully he's all right.
Well, it said it shouldn't miss any time, so time will tell because Flip's injury prone. Yeah. Next up, Eli Drake actually finally signed somewhere after months of free agency speculation. He signed with NWA.
Wow,
so no one really cares because NWA isn't big. House of Glory, an indie promotion, has announced that the Young Bucks will be facing off against Private Party for High Intensity 8, and the show is taking place at the NYC Arena in Queens, New York, on August 9th. And House of Glory has noted that this match will be both a return and a farewell.
There you go.
So, not bad at all. I wanted to find... There we go. WWE Extreme Rules pay-per-view is held, obviously, on July 14th, the day before we have the Evolve show. And this is the card, so here we go. I'm trying to make you intrigued and you don't watch Fight for the Fallen. We have... Where should we start? Let's just start with all the names, We'll go Babatunde versus Colby Carino. Does that pique your interest?
That's Steve Carino's son, I believe, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. We have Matt Riddle versus Drew Gulak in a non-title match.
That's going to be fun.
We have the Evolve Tag Team Champions, Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy against AR Fox and Leon Ruff. And if you haven't seen an Eddie Kingston match, this would be a good eye-opener for you. He's pretty darn good in the ring. We have Evolve Champion Austin Theory versus WWN Champion JD Drake. JD Drake is a pretty good worker. And we have a great main event in Adam Cole against Akira Tozawa. That'll be an absolute classic.
Good stuff. So there's some decent names in there. It's going to be a good show, and it's a good chance to see those guys that are wrestling in Evolve at the moment.
Exactly. There's some guys that you won't know. People will actually get to see Babatunde wrestle. I actually like him, so interesting to see how he goes. We also have Will Ospreay accepted Seth Rollins' apology for the tweet Rollins set out last month about comparing bank accounts with Ospreay. Yeah. And Ospreay said, "Apology accepted. Just buy me Nando's."
Which is, I want to be there for that, where Seth Rollins and Ospreay sit together and eat Nando's.
It's good. Did you listen to the Edge and Ridge podcast?
I did, yeah.
That was pretty good, and I hope Will Ospreay gets his black card for Nando's.
It seems pretty important to him.
He fucking loves his Nando's. John Pollock of Post Wrestling reported that he wasn't at Smackdown last night. Ronda Rousey, Eric Bischoff. Ronda Rousey posted a comedic video about how much she misses wrestling, with her doing wrestling related things around her house. That's cool. Don't go on an impregnation vacation then. Raw and SmackDown will both be taped at a WWE taping in Manchester Arena on November 8th. So that's pretty big. They're going to have Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, that's true.
John Cena unveiled a new haircut.
Oh, he looks good.
Did you see the video?
Of him?
Guy chasing him in the store.
Yeah, I sent it to Jack literally like an hour ago. Like, that dude is so stupid. Oh my god.
He's like, you recorded me the whole time. You got no respect.
Yeah, I admire Cena for doing that. Like, he could have I saw someone comment, like, imagine if that was Chris Jericho. Like, Jericho would have fucking hit the guy.
Fucking hit him, yeah. I did see someone I followed. He actually did a similar thing to Cena. Like, yeah, he took a photo of him without knowing, and he got told off. And he's like, "Can't you just ask for a photo?" And then he asked for a photo, and John says, "Like, yeah, let's get a photo."
Oh well, see, that's the thing. Like, this guy's
Like, so the guy was like, "I know where he's coming from." He did it to me. Paige has told TalkSport in the UK that she thinks NXT UK is dropping the ball by not having her brothers, Zach and Roy, a part of the brand. That seems a little bit weird.
That doesn't seem like she has a bias at all.
No, not at all. On the post-Fyter Fest episode of Being the Elite, the Young Bucks offered Private Party full-time contracts where they'll get paid every 2 weeks. Because that's what it said.
Now we know what how they get paid, so that's pretty
We now know how often they get paid. The Bouncers, the BC Bruiser and Brawler Malonis, will challenge for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles at Ring of Honor's Master Hysteria show July 21st. They will face the winners of the GOD versus Briscoe's title match from Manhattan Mayhem the previous night. And Master Hysteria will air live on Honor Club. So next up, the last thing, we have Robbie Eagles joining Chaos.
huge.
And before we get to that, there was a 5-star classic that I don't know if you've seen it, but I haven't. So he had a classic with Will Ospreay the night before. And there was seeds planted for a bit of a Bullet Club implosion. And the next night, it all came to a head in a 6-man tag match between Okada, Tanahashi, and Ospreay versus Eagles, Fale, and the Switchblade. What'd you think of it?
The 6-man?
Yeah.
6-man was incredible. I haven't had a chance. I think they're going to put it up on New Japan World, which I'm waiting for. Is the night before the Ospreay versus Robbie Eagles match, but I haven't seen it yet. But I'm sure that'll be great. Just what a. I mean, it's not something you and I expected to see. We were there live.
Halfway through the show, we're like, "Oh, this is not turning out to be amazing."
Yeah, it wasn't. But post intermission, it was a lot of fun. We had a tag match, a 6-man between God and Gino Gambino against who was in it? Was Toriano in it?
Yano, Juice, and Mikey Nichols.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Yano is just incredible. I think he's hilarious.
Amazing. He's so good.
And then we had Tomohiro Ishii against Hanare, I think. Was that right?
I don't know, the New Zealand guy.
Yeah, I think he's Hanare. That was very hard-hitting, good match.
Toa, that's his name.
Toa. And then, in the main event, like you said, it was incredible, and we weren't expecting the turn, just because we didn't think the show was going to be shown anywhere. But
we saw the seeds during the match, and it was like, oh yeah, this will lead to something on another show. That's fine. But, we get it.
It was awesome to see, and my favorite part of the night was just the promos after the match with Ospreay, Robbie, Tanahashi, and Okada all giving something.
I don't speak English. And then he gave us an Aussie, and that was amazing.
Special shout out to Okada. What a man. But yeah, it was cool to see Robbie, who's Australian. Now he's part of Chaos. It's a very exciting time for Australian wrestling, I think.
Yeah, if anything, they did a really good job doing this. They made Robbie look strong both nights.
Yeah,
really gets us fans really I know we're at the New Japan show, but whether we watch it all the time or not, this makes me want to watch it all the time to support Robbie.
Yeah.
And Gino as well. Gino did such a good job.
Yeah, he was very very entertaining.
They really did well incorporating the Australian wrestlers as well, and I'm interested to watch more New Japan. This really dragged me back in.
Yeah. Gorillas of Destiny slapping Gino on the ass with encouragement is nice.
Oh, amazing. And anytime they were chanting Juice, he thought we were chanting for him.
Yeah.
To be Mr. Juicy. So
that's good stuff.
It's a bit of a callback. So quick YouTube roundup. Episode 25 of Smackdown, Here Comes the Pain from Xavier Woods, Up, Up, Down, Down. And episode 60 of Battle of Brands with Tyler Breeze. They are doing the No Way Out pay-per-view. We have a new Being the Elite, episode 159, backstage at Fyter Fest. I get to see all the behind the scenes and Kenny's entrance and stuff. We have Sheamus's Celtic Warrior workouts, episode 84 with Natalia. We have a new Demandy's Donuts, episode 43, and you know who it's with? The Iconics.
Oh, nice. They're getting some good guests.
Yeah, backstage at Smackdown, Iconics. So that's cool. Eric Bugenhagen has about 4 new videos. So that's pretty cool. Content overload. And WWE PC uploaded a new video. It's a really nice video of Josiah Williams' reaction to doing Adam Cole's entrance.
Yes.
Wrestle and Flow.
I got so excited when I saw that video get uploaded. I mean, I love the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, and Josiah Williams. So it's a good thing, good little package they've got going on there.
It was great. So that's it for this week. Thank you.
Good stuff. Do you hope that Josiah wraps Adam Cole to the ring again at TakeOver Toronto, I think, this year? SummerSlam week.
I don't know if they'll do it again.
I hope they do.
Actually, they might do it again.
I hope it's like his special thing that he gets to wrap down the ring.
Or he just wraps one of the other ones.
Yeah,
like Roddy. Because I feel like you want to have his real full song once eventually.
Yeah, that's a good call. Well, so that'll be something to look forward to. Hopefully that happens. But that means it's time for this week's top 5. Alright, so this week, a little rushed top 5, but we got there in the end. I've gone for top 5 best wrestling songs for a road trip. It's pretty relevant at the moment. You and I had to listened to a few of them, so I think I've got it down pat.
16 hours worth.
Number 5 is With My Baby Tonight, which is I think that's Jeff Jarrett's song, right? That's what it's called.
Just gets you in the mood.
That's how you should start off. That's a lot of fun. Great song to sing to if you're with your friends or your family. Just a great banger. Number 4 off the Elias's album is the Ballad of Every Town I've Ever Been to.
Oh, how good is that?
Just man.
Oof.
I didn't.
That's a tune.
I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I did, but it's a very good song.
I think you just appreciate that I know every. I think that's what you appreciate.
Yeah, I can't blame you. I'm probably gonna just throw it on repeat every time I get into the car now, just to listen to that.
Yeah, not bad.
I Walk Alone, Batista's song, just gets you revved up. That song, as we've seen by Xavier Woods and Tyler Breeze. I don't know what band is it. Saliva that sing that song? I can't really remember.
Pardon?
Is it Saliva that sing Batista's song?
Jeez, I don't know. I have no idea.
That's one for people to look up. Number 2, What's Up, the Golden Truth remix. By far the best R-Truth remix.
I mean, it gets you hyped, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, the Golden Truth was peak tag team wrestling on WWE, but that's, we miss them. And then number 1, Let's Light It Up, AJ Lee's theme song. Just, what a fun.
It's not a bad banger.
I'm probably missing a lot, but I just thought that was very
those are good ones that got us hyped in the car.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's just making, you're on a road trip, you want to get hyped, so that's the top 5 for this week. If anyone has any questions or anything they want to send to the podcast, you can do so through Twitter or Instagram at WrestleHunksPod. Nathan's on Twitter at Nathan Marlowe on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm at Evil Brody Price. Do you have anything you wanted to get off your chest before we get out of here?
I didn't really have a whole lot. It's just it was a good weekend, and thanks for accompanying me on my drive.
Hey, it was a lot of fun.
I recovered from it.
Hey,
you recovered from it?
Yeah, I slept for like 5 hours when we got back.
I caught your sickness.
Did you?
Yeah.
So you're not feeling great?
So I was in bed from when we got back Monday all the way through till yesterday midday. Yeah. And I was like, fuck this. So I went to the gym. And then I got back home, had a shower. I felt like so much better. I was just like, I got it all out of my system.
Good idea. Sweat it out.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, I think good week for wrestling. Fyter Fest, New Japan, Raw, Smackdown. I'm going to continue watching NXT, which I recommend for people because Adam Cole's the best. But if you've got nothing else to say now, we might as well get out of here.
Take us home, buddy.
All right. Until next week, stay hunky.